Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday, June 13th. I hope everybody's having a wonderful morning so far. Hope you guys enjoy my background. I got the kitties doing some battle there. Here, I'll give you the full screen. I got to get out all the way out of the way here. Here we go. Isn't it glorious? Yes. The kitty's doing ninja things. Okay. Ninjafy all the things. So, today there's a lot to talk about. I was trying to settle on just one particular topic, but man, there's just a lot of stuff in the news today that I just kind of was interesting. I thought I'd talk about on today's episode of Coffee with Steve. So, let's go ahead and hop into it. So, some of you guys know that I do occasionally watch a little bit of Twitch TV, which is, it's kind of an alternative. I don't know that it's really a direct competitor or alternative to YouTube. It's kind of a, it's just it's another, it's like a live streaming thing, right? But you can watch some of the past live streams. You could actually post up videos on there if you wanted to, I believe. I haven't actually tried to do that in a while, but I know that if you stream something, it saves it there for a while. So it is kind of a, it can have some video storage. But one very, very popular streamer that goes by the name of Dr. Disresepect. Yes, that is his unofficial title, Dr. Disresepect. His name is Guy Beam, and he really one of the most popular. I think he has like 3 million subscribers on Twitch. It's, very, very, for Twitch, which is a little less popular than YouTube, you can imagine 3 million subscribers. And by the way, that's paying memberships, right? That's people who are actually paying about $5 a month for a subscribership to him. That's a lot of money. And about half of that, I don't know the exact figures, but I think it's about half of that amount of every subscriber actually goes to Twitch, which is owned by Amazon. So they're getting, like $2.50 off of 3 million people every month. Okay, so Twitch has got quite an investment in Dr. Disresepect. It's not just the amount of money that he makes, it's the amount of money everybody's making off of him. So today, Dr. Disresepect, well, it wasn't happened today. It actually happened on the 11th. He was suspended from Twitch because he was streaming from inside of a bathroom at the convention center during E3. Okay, so his E3 badge has been revoked. Twitch has suspended him. We don't know whether or not he's going to be gone. I highly doubt it. I think this is just a temporary suspension. Maybe the people that were in the bathroom could probably have grounds for a lawsuit. He might end up, he'll probably end up facing, I don't think he'll face any jail time or anything off of this, but he probably is going to have, I don't know, maybe some community service to do or most definitely fined by the state of California. Because it is an invasion of privacy. There is a law in California that it's most likely violated about invasion of privacy. So yeah, like tens of thousands of people are watching him just walk into a bathroom. Yeah, interesting stuff. I don't know that, it's kind of funny that this doesn't happen. I guess it's maybe not that it happens more often as far as like big names and stuff, but people just walking into bathrooms and like recording. How many times isn't it kind of awkward when people are on the phone in the bathroom, right? Because it's like there's like, hey, we got some privacy going on here, and people are like on the can. I've walked into the bathroom. It sounds disgusting, but I walked in the bathroom. Guys like in bathroom stalls talking to friends or whoever, maybe business associates. I don't know who does that. I'm sorry if I'm in the bathroom, there's no phone. Like I had the phone on me, but I'm not answering it. I'm not even talking. I'm not doing texting. I'm not doing nothing except maybe, play a video game or something. I don't interact with anybody while you're in there. It's a privacy thing, right? Now, it could be said kind of maybe some of the laws that are happening with, maybe there's going to be I mean, this is kind of, in our current culture, there's a little bit of a problem because of, people identify as different genders walking in, and, maybe there's some privacy things around that. I don't know that this obviously doesn't really tie into that in any sort of way, but it is interesting how there's like what goes on in the bathroom. Is it private or is it not? Because it seems like it should be private, right? So I think we're probably going to see him return. I can't imagine that Twitch is going to suspend him indefinitely. I mean, the guy has 3 million subscribers or however many he's got. That's a lot of money that Twitch is making off of him. Whenever there's a financial incentive, typically people are brought back. It's just the way it is. Okay, so yeah, that's one thing. Google, here, I'm going to put this one up so you guys can see it. Share my screen. There it is. So Google just revealed the Pixel 4 on Twitter. So this is kind of interesting to me too, that this was an official leak, right? This doesn't really happen all that often. Usually you get leaked photos and stuff from somebody who works there, or, got an early edition of it, or is one of the engineers working on it from a third party. You rarely ever get the actual company leaking the first photos or video of something. But that's what Google did. They revealed the Pixel 4 on Twitter. So I don't know about you guys. I haven't actually seen the Pixel 3. I know people rave about it, but they're already doing the Pixel 4. But that's not really why I wanted to bring this up. Not only was this kind of interesting that they revealed this. This is kind of interesting, but it also, where'd it go? I know there was something about, decided to follow in the image shows squarish, so a squarish camera module, presumably one that will hold multiple lenses. Okay, so multiple lenses, possibly, probably. I swear it was in here. Our goal, last fall we were able to get our hands on the Pixel 3 XL. They must have altered this because there was a link on here to another one of their articles that I was also very interested in. Let me pull that up here. Google's Pixel 4 could track hand gestures. So hand gestures. This is becoming more and more of a thing, and I've been saying for a long time, and you've heard me say on this channel and in other places, that I think that our interaction with computers, it's been primarily very limited to just the mouse and keyboard, right? We've had the mouse and keyboard for forever, right? I mean, we had a typewriter, and for one of the first things that we got associated with a computer was the keyboard. And it makes sense because it allows us to enter in text very quickly. But then, of course, we have the mouse. So there's like this interactivity that we have with our computers. And now we have swiping with the phones, which is cool. And that, those kind of devices allow and facilitate that. But it just feels like we're in this very archaic interfacing with our computers. I've always thought there's going to be this next revolution in technology is going to be our interaction with the thing, right? We've kind of maxed out the speeds in which the computers can run as far as the CPUs themselves. Like, there's only so much silicon you can actually, break it down to. Just for you, Jake, I pronounced it correctly. I said silicone before. You're right. Silicone is rubber. Silicon is what we're talking about. But you can only break down so much before it loses its properties, before it loses its ability to be a semiconductor. So we kind of already reached this limitation, if you will, on how small we can make these things. Now all we can do is just kind of stack them and make more of them in one device to make the device go faster. But then you have to deal with asynchronicity, right? Dealing with multiple threads being processed on a phone or on a computer. So Pixels 4, Google's Pixel 4 could track hand gestures. Now, this was not official release. This was just something that is kind of rumor mill, but also XDA developers who they constantly go through the Android operating system. They just kind of pick out things. It's kind of a developers forum for if you're doing Android development. And they followed up by saying that there is a potential support for gestures buried deep inside Android Q. These gestures were titled Skip and Silence, both of which connect to a sensor labeled Aware that doesn't yet exist. It's a leap, but these sites believe that the gesture could be for media control in a future device. Now, I don't think that if we're just seeing kind of, let's see, when was this released? This was barely done just yesterday when this was released. So I don't think it's going to be in Pixel 4. I really don't, because I think it's too soon. Typically, you're going to have this kind of stuff really worked out before you release it at large to the public like that. So maybe it's just kind of in beta. They're just kind of including it. Maybe they forgot to remove that part of the code from the code base that XDA developers found. It's hard to say exactly. But yeah, I don't think this is going to be in the Pixel 4, but maybe in a future version of the Pixel, we could see that. And if that's the case, that's kind of exciting. One person, though, which was kind of funny, I was looking down here in the comments, and it's like, oh, you mean like this? Like the Samsung already has with gestures and views and stuff?
One of the cool features.
Right? Like, I can do things on my phone already. I can already do these air gestures. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny how that stuff works. It's especially what I love is the Apple comes out with something new, and all the Samsung people are like, "Yeah, we've had that for 4 years now. Why are you guys all excited about this?" Anyway, yeah, so that's good stuff. I do hope that this technology does come about, because I do think that it's the gestures, the interactions that we have with our devices that is going to be changing significantly over the next few years. All right, something else to talk about. So, speaking of technology, top AI researchers race to detect deep fake videos. Quote, "We are outgunned." So there's this phenomenon that's starting to suddenly scare a lot of people, that videos can be made of individuals saying and doing things and acting very much like their own behavior. Like there was a very famous one of Obama giving a speech that he actually never gave. There's also the one about the real recent one that is scaring everybody is the Nancy Pelosi one, where she's apparently, slurring her words and acting kind of drunkish, but it's totally fake, right? It's like these things are known fakes, and they're worried that these are suddenly going to influence. Once again, they're going to influence you to vote a certain way. How dumb do they really think we are? This is what's so annoying about this. I saw this on Matt Christensen's did a video on this yesterday. He posted. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Matt Christensen, but he's really good. You should watch him. He's very, very, very succinct, very thought-provoking, nails everything. Just really a great, tremendous YouTube broadcaster. And I hope he doesn't get demonetized. But he was talking about how the only way you can believe, like the Russian influence thing, for example, the only way you can believe that actually worked is if you assume people are dumb. You have to believe people are just generally dumb. We're just robots that we get told whatever we get told, and that's what we're going to do. And this came from the whole article that New York Times posted about how you become radicalized if you watch any of these like very mainstream YouTubers. The Carl Benjamins, even cited like Philip DeFranco, for crying out loud, right? And I talked about this before too. I talked about this on the last stream. And he's saying, like, the only way that you can possibly, if you just are watching things and the YouTube algorithm is dropping videos in your stream for you, and you're just like gobbling it up and just believing everything that you see, then, that's what's happening. That's what's radicalizing you. And it just, again, starts from this initial position. You have to have this initial belief that people are just idiots. They're just dumb. And to a certain extent, I kind of agree with that. Not everybody. I mean, I think most people are pretty smart. I think most people have a discerning eye to what's fake and what's real, and has the ability to kind of go through things. But I mean, when I go driving down the street and I see all the idiots driving down the road, I have a little loss of the sense of humanity. I totally admit that, because there are definitely people out there that I'm like, how did you get past third grade? That there are definitely people like that. But is that the vast majority? No. I think most people are very, very capable of disseminating fake news, for example, right? Like, the whole reason we even say fake news is because, or even why it's funny, right? Like, when you say a fake news, right? Like, okay, fake news, we all know that that's funny because we know that there is such a thing as fake news, because we all have a discerning eye, right? We all can tell when something is fake. We can read an article and go, that is biased as hell. That's fake, right? We kind of know these things. And if you don't, well, you are probably already inclined to believe a certain thing in the first place, right? That's the other thing that people aren't really talking about. It's like, you're not going to convert anybody with this stuff. You're not going to convert anybody with the fake news. You're not going to convert anybody with some sort of fake video, right? What they're worried about here, these detecting deepfakes. All that you're going to do is basically reinforce the belief system that somebody already has. You're not changing minds with these things. And if you are, it's like little tiny piece of the needle. And that little tiny movement is what the media obsesses about right now. Oh my gosh, can you believe this tweet? Oh, everybody's now going to vote for Trump because of this tweet. Come on. Like, you just have to, that's the alarming thing about this. You have to believe people inherently are stupid. That's what you have to believe in order to think that it's going to have any sort of impact on the election cycles. But here we are with a Washington Post article. Again, AI researchers race to detect deepfake videos. We are outgunned. And basically the whole article is about how researchers say they're vastly overwhelmed by technology they fear could herald a damaging new wave of disinformation campaigns. Much in the same way fake news stories and deceptive Facebook groups were deployed to influence public opinion during the 2016 election. Russia. Like, oh my God. How do we get them off of this? It's over. It's over. I'm going to say it. No collusion. Nothing. Stop it with this. Stop it with this obsession. You know what? Never mind. You go ahead. You go ahead and stay obsessed. You keep posting up this crap that people stop reading. I'm looking at it right now because I want everybody to know that this is still going on, but you're losing viewers. You're losing readers. Okay, Washington Post, it's going to happen. One day, you're going to be going, what happened? And all of us are going to be saying, well, you stopped reporting news. You stopped being about the news. That's the problem. And this is just a continuing thing. The reason why fake news is there, like, fake news is just news is just entertainment now. So fake news is easy to do because it's just entertaining. All right. Last thing I want to talk about, getting off political stuff. CERN. Some of you guys, CERN, it's the world's leading scientific research organization. They are moving from Microsoft to open source. That's right. They are leaving Microsoft. Now, to me, what's interesting about this is not that they're leaving, but the reason why they're leaving. And it's not just a typical, like, oh, we don't like Microsoft, let's go over to Linux because we have all these scientists that love Linux. It's not really that. That's not what's at the heart of this. What's at the heart of this is, let's see if I can find this. So it was commercial software licenses. Okay, so typically for Microsoft, it's a per user fee structure, right? So it's like you buy a license for each user, and you can actually theoretically have the same key installed on a couple of different computers if you phase out one computer. Like, I have this one computer, it's got this key, I don't want to use this computer anymore, I want a new computer, I can actually transfer my Microsoft license over to that other computer. Now, most people don't do that. Most people just buy the, or when people buy a new computer, it comes already with the operating system installed. But really, technically, that key belongs to you, and you have that key indefinitely, like for as long as you want it. So theoretically, that Windows XP key that you had, or Windows NT key, or Windows 2000 key, if you want to go all the way back that far, or 95, if you have the original operating system and you still have the key, it's still valid to install it on another computer as long as you are no longer using that old computer. Okay, and typically you need to wipe the old computer so that the operating system no longer exists on it, and that way also you don't run into somebody else getting, like, if you sell your laptop or something to somebody, if you sell your laptop to somebody, you're also, I don't know the legality of this, honestly, so I'm kind of talking off the cuff here, but I think that when you sell a computer that has that operating system on it, you're also selling the key along with it, and therefore you're transferring ownership of the key and therefore of the license, okay? So if you're just like decommissioning a laptop, like, I got this laptop, it's sitting over there in the corner, I'm done with it, I'm never going to use it again, but I'm not going to sell it, I'm not going to give it away, I'm just going to throw it in the trash or whatever, then you can transfer the key and everything over to your new computer. Anyway, so that's the way that it kind of works in the normal world. However, what happened was, so basically the Microsoft revoked CERN's academic status. Okay, so it said you are no longer an academic organization, and replaced the old contract with the user number based one. So they basically said you're no longer under the academic license. You now have to pay the full price. Now that's interesting to me. Why would Microsoft make this change? And I don't know. I don't know why they decided to revoke CERN's academic status, but that seems a little dubious, doesn't it? Why would Microsoft say, you know what, you're not an academic institution anymore? Why would they say that? Is there maybe some profit that's going on with CERN? I don't really know. This is just kind of an open-ended question. I'm open to hearing what you guys have to say on this. And that's something I would love for you guys to do. If you want to comment down in the comment section below and tell me why you think Microsoft might have revoked CERN's academic status. Was it just a money play? Was it just Microsoft saying, hey, you know what? You guys have a ton of licenses over there. We need that money. Or is it just like, is there a legitimate reason why they think CERN is no longer an academic institution? I would love to hear what you guys have to say. So please drop me those comments in the comment section below. I'd love to read them. We can have a discussion. Please, as long as it's a respectful discussion, nobody fling any insults at each other, because that's the type of stuff that I just, I can't stand. I typically take those type of things down. So no insulting, none of that stuff, no flame wars. But I really do want to hear, like, what do you guys think is the reason Microsoft would revoke CERN's academic status? All right, so that's going to wrap it up for me today. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me on today's episode of Coffee with Steve. Don't forget to drink your coffee. You've got to have it, because without it, I mean, how are you going to get through your day, right? All right, thanks so much for joining me today. I should be available again tomorrow. I'm trying to be more consistent. I apologize for missing yesterday and missing Monday. It's just, sometimes stuff happens, and I don't really get paid for this, so, whatever. Anyway, hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.